What's going on, everyone? It's Chris Gunzz back from his extended holiday break. Happy New Year. Last Friday night on ShoBox, a couple of undefeated prospects in the junior welterweight division kicked off the show. Dallas, Texas's prospect Mighty Mo, Maurice Hooker, had the biggest fight of his career. He came in the ring with a 12-0 record, 1 draw, 9 by knockout on his record. Then he was facing another prospect, also in the biggest fight of his young career, Casa Grande, Arizona's own, Abel Ramos. Abel was 8-0, 4 knockouts coming in the fight. Now, the general thinking is when you have 2 undefeated fighters that somebody's always going to go, but not in this case. Both guys performed very well, and both men's stocks got a big boost on that huge stage. Both guys agreed to talk about the fight separately. So, first joining me to talk about Friday night's 8-round war is Mighty Mo, Maurice Hooker. Congratulations, Maurice. It wasn't a win, but it wasn't a loss, and it kind of was a win because everyone had a chance to see you and you performed incredibly well. The fight was just 5 days ago. How do you feel physically right now?
I'm feeling real good right now.
Yeah, that's good because it was a tough fight. How do you feel about where you're at in the world of boxing right now?
Right now I think I'm at a good spot. Just getting ready for my next fight. Hope I can, move up. Fight for a title by the end of next year or beginning of next year. End of this year or beginning of next year. Around 135. I'll move down at 135.
How are you? That's that's good. That's a good move. A lot of people want to move up. It's good to move down. I think a lot of guys could get some more weight off. What made you decide that?
Cause it's easy making 140, and even after the weigh-in, a lot of fighters boost up to like 155, 158, and I still did like a 45 fight. Guys like 58 the fight night.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think 135 is a good weight class for me to take over.
Yeah. I would love to see you fight Terrence Crawford one day. That would be a throwback.
That's what I want to fight.
Yeah, that would be a throwback. It would look like something from the 80s.
Yes.
That's nice, man. Like I said, though, it was a war. But it's not really new to you to be in a war. You had some experience sparring. You had sparred Miguel Cotto and Ruslan Provodnikov. And you even fought in the gym. You sparred with another Dallas boxer, 2012 Olympian Errol Spence. You guys did a lot of sparring, didn't you?
Yes, we always go with it. It's a good friend.
Yeah, and we all know those guys could bring it. We'll get back to the fight with Ramos in a few minutes, but first, tell me about those sparring sessions. You sparred Miguel Cotto. He's a legend. Tell me about sparring and what was it like sparring Miguel Cotto?
Oh, Miguel Cotto, I learned a lot with him. It's like going to school all over. Miguel Cotto was very patient, and I had to be patient because when I try to rush Miguel Cotto, I would get caught with the big left foot. And Ruslan was different. He was aggressive like the dude I fought, like Abel. He was aggressive. He was always in my face, loading up every punch. So it was like 2 different styles. But I like Smart Miguel Cotto. He's very patient, very smart. And Errol Spence, the Olympian, he good too. He's smart, southpaw. He's aggressive, but like a boxing way. A lot of jabs, but he's aggressive. Then big right hooks. And left straight hands. Pretty good. Good body work, too.
Yeah. Now, you sparred Miguel Cotto after the sparring. Did you guys have a chance to talk? Did he give you any advice?
Yes. After I sparred Miguel Cotto, he told me, because when I first got in the ring, I was trying to knock him out. I didn't want to spar him. I was trying to knock him out. He told me, sparring is where you learn. He said, sparring, you don't win the sparring. It's just stuff you need to work on. And then, every time I spar, I just work on stuff I need to work on. Like one day I might spar working on my jab, or another day I might spar, working on my straight right. He just told me, just sparring, nobody win the sparring. And don't leave your fight in sparring.
Mm-hmm. Did he give you any boost of confidence? Was he impressed with you?
Oh, yes. He told me I was the best sparring partner he had down there in California. He told me I was best, just stay with it. He said, he fights my towel, he'll call me back up to the sparring at Fred Royce Gym in California.
And we all saw what Ruslan did with Tim Bradley, and we saw what he did to Mike Alvarado in his last fight. What was it like sparring? You already said how it was like sparring him. Tough guy, comes at it. How hard did he hit? How hard a hitter is Ruslan?
It's different because we had the sparring gloves on. I guess it was 14-ounce sparring Ruslan. He really didn't have much power in sparring, but I don't know if we were, the difference we put 18 ounces on.
Yeah.
But sparring, he didn't have much power to me.
Mm-hmm. Does he speak good English really when he's in the gym and the lights are off?
He learning. It's not that bad.
Yeah. Did he give you any advice?
No, he was actually mad at me.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
What, did you get the better of him?
Yeah, I can't say.
And you had a long time, your buddy Errol Spence. What did he say? I'm sure he probably knew about Abel Ramos because Abel had a really good, extensive amateur career, so he probably knows a lot about him. Did he tell you what to look for in the ring with him?
I ain't even talked to EJ before the fight. I don't like try to ask guys about my opponent because the dude might change. I might, come in with another style, and I'm looking for one style. I might change up on him. So I just went, the first round, just trying to feel him out.
Mm-hmm. And you sparred Miguel and Ruslan at the Wild Card gym. What was it like? Was that your first time at the Wild Card?
No, it's my second time. The first time when I sparred Ray Bertrand.
Oh, he was.
He fought Ricky Burns in
Scotland, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And went to spar him first. Then Fred Roach. I put in good work with Ray. He caught me back for Cotto in Ruslan.
Yeah, you probably did a good job getting Beltran ready because he got robbed in that fight.
Yes.
Yeah, so you did good. So you're getting known at the Wild Card, helping fighters out. What did Freddie Roach say to you?
He loved me. He told me he wished he would train me.
No chance? No chance for him?
Nah, I got a good coach from California, Vince Power. I'm gonna stay with him.
Yeah, he did a good job in your corner too. But
yes.
A lot of people used to go from California to Texas to get sparring. Now a lot of people from Texas are going to California to get their sparring. So it's a lot of things that a lot of people want to move to the West Coast. It's the hotbed right now. So that's why I asked you. Maybe you're thinking about relocating. I was thinking maybe you're getting too big for Texas.
I'll always stay in Texas. Bring the fight boxing to Texas.
You sound like you're from Texas.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
What else did Freddie Roach say to you? What's he like about you?
He like my movement around the ring and my jab, my height, and my power in both ends.
Yeah, and Dallas used to be a hotbed of boxing, but not so much recently. When did you start boxing? How old were you when you first walked in the gym, and how did you find your way there?
I was 11 years old, 11 or 12. A lot of trouble fighting on the streets. My daddy took me, he actually took me to get beat up. And when I got there, I beat some guy up, and I love boxing ever since.
So he took you to get beat up?
Yes.
Why is that? Were you a troublemaker?
Yeah, I was just beating everybody up around the neighborhood. He just came to the gym for me to get beat up. That's how I feel.
So it was a tough neighborhood you came up in?
Yes.
What was it like?
A lot of crack houses, a lot of people on the streets, a lot of drug dealers. It's very tough. A lot of robberies and murders.
So tell me about the household that you grew up in, the Hooker household. What was it like in there, and who was in it?
It's my mother, my stepfather. I have a little brother and a little sister, and I got a big step brother. I played basketball, football, soccer, baseball, every sport you name I played. So me and my family are always busy going to games. I mean, we was busy. It was a family thing. I was playing sports, stay busy, and pretty good household.
Yeah.
My stepfather was a pharmacist. My mom was a mail lady.
Mm-hmm. And were you aware of Dallas's rich boxing history?
Not really, sir. Not really.
No.
I just heard of Curtis Coates.
Mm-hmm.
And Polly from Fort Worth. Polly Ali, I think. I can't say his first name. I just heard of him.
Uh-huh. And on Showtime, they said you had 100 amateur fights. What was your final record? Was it exactly 100 fights?
I lost like 8 or 10 times. 2 of them to Earl Spence, then Olympian, and most of my fights I won by knockout.
Yeah, and you won the Dallas Regional Golden Gloves. How did it feel winning that? And how deep is boxing still in Dallas right now? You and Errol Spence might bring it back to like the 70s and 80s when it was hot. But what's the state of boxing in Dallas right now? Where you were just at the tournament last night, right? You went to a tournament, the Dallas.
Yeah.
Well, what's it like there now, today?
I mean, it's a lot more people fighting the amateurs, and it's a good thing. I see boxing being real big in Dallas, and like the next year, there's a lot more kids trying it out. I mean, it's boxing getting up there for Dallas.
That's good. That's good. It's good to hear, because I don't understand why there's so many like kids who are clearly not going to be tall enough to be basketball players or big enough to be football players, and they're just wasting their time when they have no future in it. So it's good to see more kids getting into boxing. I wish more kids would get into it.
Yes.
Yeah, and how was it? How'd you feel winning that Golden Glove tournament?
My first time, I was excited. I feel like I won state Golden Glove, but the favorite guy won, I think, from Houston, Texas. They had beat me in the semifinals.
Yeah. So how'd you decide to turn pro when you did?
I had to turn pro. I think I felt like I got robbed in state Golden Gloves, and I got a call to fight somebody Shelman No with 5 knockouts. And in St. Louis, and I hopped on it. I felt like I was ready, and I took that fight.
Yeah.
I didn't want to fight empty no more because I feel like I got robbed in state Golden Gloves with the new scoring system they got.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah, I wish they'd get the amateur system back to the way it should be. The rules keep changing, and it keeps changing for the worse. But I think they're trying to get it better now.
Yes.
Do you like how it is now, rather than when you were fighting?
Yes. A lot better.
Yeah. And you did turn pro on April 29th, 2011. You fought Tyrone Chapman.
Yes.
And you got a split draw in your pro debut. Why did you turn pro against a guy with 8 fights or 7 fights under his belt and a good record like that?
Record to me don't mean nothing. I'm not scared of nobody. I'll fight anybody in their backyard. But I was just ready to fight pro. I was ready to do it. I feel like I was ready to turn pro.
Yeah.
I feel like I was ready for the world. I still do.
Yeah, I think you are. And how'd you like fighting without the headgear and the smaller gloves?
Oh, man. The first round, I had to get used to it without no headgear after I got hit. After that first round, it was on. I think I could see a little better. I can, concentrate a little more focus on the fighter, instead of getting hit and then got to adjust the headgear. Mm-hmm. The gloves, gloves is way better. I like that.
Yeah. And after that first fight, you might have got a better manager, maybe got better matchmaking, but the matchmaking got a little more sensible after that. You must have gotten something different in your career after the first fight, did you?
No, it was like the third fight.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. Yes, I had met my manager, Ernie Rabik.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then it just started being my matchmaker, my manager.
Yeah.
But they ain't going so smooth so far.
Yeah, because that's pretty important. It was nothing but smooth sailing after that, though. You went 4 rounds twice and 6 rounds twice, and you had your first big fight, like we mentioned at the top of the show, with Abel Ramos on Friday. Going into that fight, you had way better experience in the pro ranks, but he had better experience in the amateurs, and he had a really good amateur career. Your first time on the big stage, how did you find out that you were going to be featured on that incredible platform like Showtime, the ShoBox series that's seen by millions around the world? How did you hear that you were going to be featured on the show?
I think I was at the time, I was in Florida with Mike Tyson Gym promotion, sparring up Mendez, getting ready to fight for his belt. I got the call. I was excited. I felt like I was ready for the world to see me on TV. I could, show my skills, and I felt like I was ready for it. But I couldn't believe I'd find out, Showtime.
Yeah. Big show. And you mentioned sparring Mendez. What'd you think of his fight and how he lost that?
I think he was 2 weeks before the fight. When I was sparring probably like a week ahead before the fight, he was walking around probably like 145. I think he lost too much weight, before the fight. He was dizzy. I heard he was dizzy before he even fought. Locker room before he even came out. In pro, amateurs okay to do it, but in pro, nah, the gloves were, people getting hurt now, and I would never do it. Lose 4 or 5 pounds before the day of the fight, be weak, I just wouldn't do it. I think you should do it like 3 or 4 weeks before the fight, have your weight down, come in the fight, weigh in strong and the fight strong.
Yeah.
But I just feel like he was too weak.
Yep. See, a lot of fighters don't see themselves as athletes. They think they're just fighters. They don't feel like they have to. That's why I love Floyd Mayweather, because he stays, and Bernard Hopkins, fighters like that stay around the weight class that they fight in. I think it's important. How big do you get between fights?
Probably biggest. I probably get like 47, 46, 47.
Okay, so just 7 pounds. Now you're going down to lightweight. Might be a little tougher, but I think it's still doable. Do you got a strength and conditioning guy to try to get you there?
Yes. Yes, his name, Manny. Yes, he's from Dallas, so he's pretty good. Yes.
Yeah. Did you ever go to the Plex gym?
No, sir.
No? I heard, no, that's in Houston. It's not in Dallas, but they got a good system. I just wanted to see if you did try to go there and check it out. But how did it play? Was there any added pressure going into the fight?
No pressure. I looked at that fight like it was another fight going on. I tried to ignore the TV, but before I don't want to get to me. But I took it as another local fight, pro fight.
So even though you never fought outside your hometown, fighting a guy with a good amateur pedigree, comes from a fighting family on Showtime television, having never gone 8 rounds before, didn't play in your mind at all?
No, sir. I tried to tone it out.
Yeah, and you had trunks that had a patch in dedication to Muhammad Ali for his 72nd birthday. What does Muhammad Ali mean to you?
He's one of the best, one of the greatest. I look up to him. Hopefully I can be in the Hall of Fame with him right next to him. I like how he boxed, jab, move around the ring. That's where I try to get that from. He's just one of the greatest.
Yeah, and some people say he is the greatest. Who is your top 5 pound for pound ever? Who do you love in the history of boxing?
Oh, I gotta say Bernard Hopkins. Bernard Hopkins. I like Tommy Hearns, Bernard Hopkins, Ali, Floyd Mayweather, and probably Oscar De La Hoya.
Wow, see that? And I was thinking during the fight of Tommy Hearns, because your jab looked a lot like Tommy's.
Yeah.
Fast jab. I love that pick. Nice picks. And how was it? How was this fight different than your previous 13 fights? Going into this fight, did you train any different?
I kept the same training going into the fight. I feel like I overdid it with the training. I was in training camp for 3 months. I think I overdid it with the training. I didn't give my body enough time to heal or rest before the fight.
Yeah. And the first bell rings and you start with a beautiful jab, like I said. He starts slow. You win the first round easy, and he kind of wakes up in the second round a little more. But in the third round, there was a sense that the momentum was shifting. Did you feel that the momentum was shifting in the third?
Yes, I started off aggressive with the jab. Then my coach told me to stay with the jab, but I like going toe to toe. It's hard. Trying to go from toe to toe, just a boxer, just on a jab.
Yeah, and how did your trainer keep you in the fight? What was it? His name is Potter, right?
He kept me in the fight. He just told me to go ahead and do my jab, and don't get over aggressive. Take what's open. Don't try to force nothing.
Yeah. What is it about him that makes you bond so well together?
He used to box. We had the same style. Most coaches, when you get with them, they kind of change your whole style or want you to fight how they used to fight. But he tried to add on to my style.
Yeah. and you came back in the fourth round and you had a good round again. So you kind of took the momentum back and you stomped that fire out, I guess. Did you feel like you were getting tired sometime after that fourth round, though? Because I started noticing that your mouth was open, and some fighters just do that. It's just what they do. Were you tired at all? I mean, you went 6 rounds twice, 4 rounds twice, but we're getting to that point. You're in with a guy who's giving you a tough fight. Did you feel different than you did in past fights? Were you getting tired?
Yes, I got tired probably like around end of the 6th. My mouthpiece, I need a new mouthpiece, one molded, which we're going to get real soon. So it's something about the mouthpiece. I just can't really keep my mouth closed with it.
Yeah, and the fight had so many ebbs and flows. What did you think about the quiet bell that nobody heard all night long because you guys kept fighting after it sounded in the 6th round? How hard was it to hear that bell? Because I heard it on TV, but they kept saying how the bell. I heard it was more quiet than normal. But
yes, it felt like you know how you fight and they give you that 10 little tap. It felt like going there. I mean, if you get hit and you're drilling going, you just going toe to toe. You're not gonna hear that bell. Mm-hmm. I think they just need to get a better bell down there.
Yeah, I don't. You think they'd have an extra one somewhere in case something happened?
Yeah, I'm hoping somebody starts screaming or something, or hit the ring. I mean, it was hard to hear.
Yeah. And Ramos started to land some really good hooks and even some really nice looking right hands, pretty serious looking punches. He seemed to shake you with a left hook in the 7th round. How hurt were you in that 7th round?
Oh, I wasn't hurt at all. I was tired. To me, he didn't hit hard. He was pushing a lot on his punches that really knocked me off balance. But he didn't have no power. If he had power, I wouldn't be on the ropes.
Mm-hmm. And you were landing your own punches, by the way. He wasn't like running you out of the ring or anything, and it didn't look like that. He did catch you with something that looked like it could have hurt you, and I just wanted to get your word on it. But you were definitely giving as much as you were taking. So it was a scorching 8th round, though. You both fought as if you wanted to win the fight, but he seemed to eke it out to me. In the 8th round, he seemed to get a little bit better of you. Did you think that you won the fight when it was over?
Yes, I feel like I won at least the first 5, maybe 6 rounds. Easy. I'm saying the first 5 were kind of easy with the jab. Keep him on the outside, hard for him to get in. Like the 7, 8, maybe the 6, I get to him. I got a little tired, but even when he was doing 4 or 5 combinations, I tried to answer back with my own combination and spin them and get out the way. But I feel like I did enough to take the fight.
Yeah. How'd you feel when you heard the draw when it was announced?
I'm used to it. I don't know if that's just promoter or not, but I wasn't surprised.
Yeah, there's nothing to hold your head about, though. I mean, I felt it was a fair decision. Maybe if I could see how you thought you had one more round, but it was close in some of those rounds too.
Yes, it was close. Yes.
How do you think this fight's going to help you going further?
It's my first time going 8 rounds. Now I got to start working on my pace, stay at one pace instead of picking up the pace and try to slow back down to pick it back up. I got to stay with my jab, move around the ring, to stay in my pace. Teach me how to stay in my pace and just work the 8 rounds.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he did get a draw against you, and you might think he won 3 rounds, but that's still doing pretty good against you. What did he do so well? Because if you say he didn't hit hard, what was it about him? What makes him good?
It's pressure. He kept coming. I hit him with everything I had. He's still coming. I mean, most fighters they can take your heart away or something, but I just stayed with the jab. I knew in my mind I was like, man, he got to be hurt, but he still coming. He stayed in my face. The last maybe 3 rounds, he was in my chest. I let him get inside. Started using my jab. I was trying to fight this fight, but I learned a lot from that fight.
Yeah. What do you think you could have done differently? I mean, there's a good possibility you guys could meet again. Maybe sooner or later. You did mention going down in weight, but I'm sure you guys won't be so far in weight class. You guys might actually meet in the same weight class again sometime. You seem to both have a good future. Of course, it's boxing. Nothing's in stone, and anything could happen. But I could see both of you guys doing well enough and maybe fighting for a title or fighting for the right to fight for a title someday. What do you think you could have done differently if you're in the ring with him again?
Fight my fight. Keep on the outside. Just keep him on the outside and fight my fight.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys speak at all after the fight?
No, they told him a good fight. Asked for a rematch. They didn't want to do it again. They told him a good fight. To me, it was a good fight.
Mm-hmm. Who wanted to do it again?
Me. I wanted to do it again.
Right. And he didn't want to?
Nah, he didn't answer. Then I asked him back. Him and his coach in the back room, in the locker room. And they said maybe in the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see it, and I could see where you get to the point where he can't help but have to fight you. You might win a title before he does. He might need you.
Yes.
How's it been? How's it been since that night? Do you feel like you're a little more famous now? Did you get that new 20-year-old cousin coming by your house yet? Any new family members coming out of the woodwork?
I got all types of calls when I made it home. Everybody wanted to just hang out with me now. Everybody know me now. Everybody calls themselves my cousin. But I don't let it get to me. I don't think I'm famous yet. Nothing changed. I'm still humble, still ready to fight in this. I'm ready to get back in the ring. No, I didn't know everything else outside the ring.
So no time to play.
Yes.
Did you learn anything new about yourself? I mean, you don't know if how you're going to react to a good punch until you take one. Sparring is sparring, but this is with the small gloves, no headgear. It was a good experience for you. How do you feel about yourself?
I feel like I did good. I dug deep down the side and came out with it. I ain't give up. I got the heart of a tiger. Never give up.
Yeah, you do. And what do you think his chances are of being a successful fighter too and winning titles? Has he got a good chance?
Oh yeah, he got a real good chance. A real good fighter.
That's cool. That's cool. And you're rising quick. Turned pro in April 2011 and already had 14 fights under your belt. What do you think you want next? You're moving to lightweight because a lot of people are interested in your move. What do you want in the lightweight division? Do you want to start out small, or do you want someone in the top 20 maybe? What's your next move? Top 30?
The next move, I'll probably start out small. Not today. I'm going I want the top 15, maybe the top 10.
Mm-hmm. So right from 8 rounds to the top 10. You want the world.
Yes.
What other interests do you have though besides boxing? Do you want to get right back in the ring? Talk about your family. You got a couple of sons. I saw a picture of your sons and you at the tournaments last night. Tell me about your sons.
Oh yes, I got 4 boys and 1 little girl. I got 5 kids. Hopefully they like the boxing when they get older. After boxing, I'll probably be a coach or a coach. A couple of business like a car lot, real estate. Investing my money real good.
Mm-hmm. Do you keep up with boxing besides yourself? I mean, you were at that thing last night, the tournament, so you must keep your eye on boxing. But do you keep your eye on the pros too? Yes.
Mostly just people in my weight class. I watch everybody.
Yeah.
People under me and people rank number 1, like Danny Garcia, right now at 140, or Terrence Crawford at 135, Ricky Burns. Oh yes, I watch everybody.
And you mentioned Terrence Crawford. What do you think he's the best lightweight in the world right now?
Yes, right now, yes. But I think with Terrence Crawford, when he win and we out boxing you, he don't try to knock nobody. He just do what he do to win. And most people don't want to see that. That's why I want to fight him. I'm going to bring the fight out of him. I'm going to make him fight.
Mm-hmm. What do you want to do in your next fight? Do you want to go 10 rounds in your next fight, or how long until you do? Did you sit down and map out a plan yet? Because I really think you're going to be a serious player. Did you come up with a plan yet? Yes,
I think my next 2 fights probably be 8 rounds. Maybe my next 2 and next 3 be 8 rounds this year, which me and my manager already got the dates, I think, so far. Oh, yeah. I think I fight again at the end of March. I'm fighting Mississippi at the casino.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm just going to stay busy. Got 5 fights lined up. I hope I'll be busy this year. I'm hoping next year be my year for a belt, a real title.
I hope you get the shot. What did you talk about if your next fight was going to be televised?
That I don't know yet.
No. And I think I took enough of your time and got to know you pretty well. But you do have a lot of fans, and I'm sure they're going to love hearing from you. Where can they keep up with you? You're on Facebook. Are you on Twitter? And if so, tell them how to get a hold of you and to give you a shout-out if they want.
All right, I don't have a Twitter yet. I will have one probably by the end of the week. I got a Facebook, Maurice Hooker, and I got a Instagram, Maurice Hooker 05. Maurice underscore Hooker 05.
Maurice underscore Hooker 05. You got to follow Maurice Hooker. And what do you have to say to them right now?
I thank the fans. Hope they keep following me and keep believing in me. And hopefully one day I'll be a champion.
Mighty Mo, Maurice Hooker. Remember the name, people. I have a feeling he's going to be around for a while. Good luck, and thanks for your time, Mo.
All right, sir. Thank you.
And now we're being joined by the other half of that scintillating fight on Friday night on the ShoBox series, Abel Ramos. Abel, I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Great fight on Friday night. It was a draw, but you could look at it as a win. Where do you feel like that performance and that fight put you now in the world of boxing?
Well, I think it was a good fight. It was a great fight for the people. It was exciting, and I'm just glad, that I could showcase my skills to the whole U.S.
Yeah, and everyone appreciates what you guys put out there. You guys gave it a hell of a fight. One of the best fights. Your pressure, you put pressure on like a seasoned veteran, and he boxed and did a great job boxing, has a beautiful jab. You guys look just the way a future champion should look, both of you. So nothing to hang your head about. It was a win for both of you, I think, and who knows, we might be able to see that rematch happen sometime in the near future, or sometime for a title, who knows. But it was a war, and it's nothing new to you. You've been in the gym. You're a lifer. You come from a fighting family. Your brothers box and you box. What was it like for you growing up in a fighting family and having that experience of fighting your whole life?
It's great. You get a lot of good things out of it. You look at life different. When you're a fighter, you just you get so positive. You get a positive mindset all the time. And, of course, always having the fights and the sparrings and just, a lot of gym wars. And, I think it's great, man. I love it.
Yeah, and you sparred some guys who are already there, already seasoned veterans in the game and on the verge of fighting for titles or fought for titles already. You sparred Jesus Soto Carras. What was that like, sparring Jesus Soto Carras?
It was good, man. You learn a lot from this seasoned fighters. A lot of new tricks, and they're good guys. They show you they're not afraid to teach you some tricks, and it's just a great experience.
What did Jesus tell you? What advice did he give you?
Well, Jesus Soto, he likes coming forward. He likes to attack the body. So that was. He felt some on my body shots as well, and he told me to keep that up, just stick with it. It pays off in a fight.
Yeah, and how about Jesse Vargas? Jesse had a war himself with Wale Omatoso not too long ago. What did he tell you about being a pro?
Oh man, Jesse's a good guy. He's on the verge of fighting for a title. Mm-hmm. He's a very but Jesse's different. He's very technical. You gotta think every move you're gonna make, when you spar him. And he's a good guy.
Yeah. And Miguel Vasquez, what advice? What was it like fighting him, and what advice he give you?
Oh, Miguel Vasquez is good. He's a real good guy. He moves around a lot. He uses the ring a lot, and every guy I've sparred, they told me, I was on the right track and just to keep up what I'm doing.
Yeah, and you had a great amateur career too. You've been doing it forever. You've been everywhere in the world. Your family's actually from Sinaloa, Mexico, and
yeah.
Of course, when I hear Sinaloa, the first guy I think of is Chavez. Were you raised to be a Julio Cesar Chavez fan?
Oh yeah, man. Ever since I was little, I used to love him. His fights, just exciting. His style, everything.
Yeah. And
But he's just a hero back home.
yeah. How old were you when you first put the gloves on yourself?
I think I was around probably 8 or 7. But I never trained just at the house with the neighborhood kids, all that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm. And what was it like coming from a fighting family? Did you spar your brothers at all, or how did that go?
Yeah.
Are you the youngest?
Yeah, I'm the youngest. I have another brother. He's a year older than me, and he's the one that we would always get into wars, man, with sparring. We would forget that we were brothers.
What'd your parents think of that?
My mom used to get mad, all the time. Like, take it easy, it's just training. But they eventually got used to it.
Mm-hmm. Now your family came from Sinaloa, but did they go right to Casa Grande, Arizona?
No, they first went down to Pennsylvania when they had some friends over there. So we went there. They lived there for a couple of years, and then I was born. I was only there for a year, like 1 year, and
yeah, okay.
I was a year old when we came back to Casa Grande, Arizona.
Okay, so you don't remember Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
What's it like growing up in Casa Grande?
They have some family members down there.
Mm-hmm. What's it like growing up in Casa Grande? What kind of neighborhood was it for you?
It's a small town. It's really very, very calm. Everybody knows everybody, and it's a good place to grow up in.
Not a whole lot of boxing there, though, right?
What was that?
Is there a lot of boxing going on there?
Oh no, not a whole lot. We're probably the only ones that do it there.
Yeah, and what would you do to get good sparring? I heard you made trips to go get good sparring.
Yeah, we're going down to Phoenix. They have a lot of good professionals down there, and we've been training a lot of guys in our gym as well. And they help out a lot too.
Yeah, and I heard you did have a family gym. Your family owns a gym?
Yeah, my brother. He owns that gym.
Yeah, what kind of trainer is your brother? What makes you guys have such good success together?
He's very open-minded. That's what I like about him. He's been with me since I was little. He knows me more than I know myself, and he's always learning from trainers. Every time we go down for sparring, he's always talking to the trainers, always listening, always learning new stuff. And he's dedicated, man. He's always in the gym, always pushing me.
Yeah, it's cool to hear that, because you don't come from a big fight town, but you had a very successful amateur career. You seem and you look to be have a promising career in the pros. What was your exact record as an amateur?
My exact record, I had about 120 fights, about 10 or 15 losses. It's hard to keep count, but it was around there.
Great record. And did you have Olympic hopes at all?
I did. I came up short on the trials. But I thought my boxing style was more suited for the pros.
Yeah. So were you down at all about not making the Olympic team, or not at least trying to go for it?
Yeah, I was, man. It's every boxer's dream to make it to the Olympics. And I was down a little bit, but I just you gotta look forward to the future. So
how did you decide to turn pro when you did?
It was a decision by me and my brothers. It was just we thought it was time already. We thought it was a good time, and we did it.
So you put the amateur career behind you. Out of all the places you went, and you did fight internationally, what's some of the places that you're happy you got a chance to see because of boxing?
I would say Puerto Rico. That was the farthest one we went. It was really nice out there.
Mm-hmm.
And that was probably the best one.
Yeah. Where else did you go?
We were in Little Rock. in New York, we were in Vegas, we were California, everywhere.
Yeah, and you had that.
Colorado Springs as well, at the Olympic Training Center. That's a great facility over there.
Yeah. Wow. And you decided to turn pro. What was your first fight like? Do you remember the exact day and who your opponent was and how you won it?
I don't remember the exact date. My opponent, I can't remember his name either. He was a guy from New Mexico, but you know, my first fight, you know, everything was so different. You know, from transferring from the amateurs, you know, you wouldn't think it's different, but it really makes a lot of difference. You know, no headgear, with smaller gloves, and you know, it was kind of new territory for me.
How did it feel without the headgear and the smaller gloves?
Felt lighter, you know, but also, you know, you felt the punches way more. And, you know, but it was something I'm getting used to every time I fight, getting more used to it, and it's going to come like second nature later on.
Yeah, and you had only 8 fights in your pro career coming into the fight on Friday night. How did you hear that you were going to be featured on Showtime? How did that even?
It was just an opportunity, you know, from that came up. It was, you know, short notice. It was a risky move for us because we hadn't trained properly. But you know, I just wanted that opportunity, you know, just to show everyone that I can do big things in the boxing world. And you know, that's basically, you know, what we did. You know, we just took a risk.
So it was risky. Was it risky to you because of the rounds that it was scheduled for? It was scheduled for 8 rounds, and you only been 4 rounds at the most. Did you hesitate in thinking about if you were ready or not?
Yeah, man. Everything was against us. You know, the time for preparing. You know, we were fighting an undefeated prospect. And, you know, we were moving from 4 to 8 rounds. So, you know, there was a risk all around it, you know. Yeah. But, you know, we just wanted to show everyone, you know, so bad what we have and what our goals, you know.
Yeah. And it's a huge opportunity on a platform like Showtime, on ShoBox. Yeah. It's a great series. You kind of can't say no to it if the opportunity comes. Did you?
Yeah.
How ready did you feel when you were going through it and you were walking out to the ring? Did you have any nerves, any added pressure because of all these things playing on your mind, or did you just kind of try to put it behind you?
Yeah, I tried to put it behind me, you know, but it was kind of, you know, sitting on the back of my mind. But, you know, I tried putting it behind me. You know, I knew it was going to be a hard fight, so I was just preparing for that instead, you know, instead of thinking of if I was gonna get tired or not. You know, I knew I had my hands full.
Yeah. Now you imagined it was going to be a tough fight already. So when the first bell rings, were you surprised at all by anything?
You know, what surprised me, you know, was his reach advantage. You know, I thought it wasn't going to be that much. And, you know, he used it very well, you know. So I was just, you know, a little worried about that, you know, about getting inside.
Yeah. Real good boxer, but I thought you were going to win the fight because I noticed that you had a stoppage win over Cassius Clay. That was in your 4th pro fight. Then I had to realize it's not the same Cassius Clay. Someone named their kid Cassius Clay, and you fought him and you beat him. So
yeah,
it looks good.
It looks good, yeah.
So I noticed that you started getting more into your rhythm in the 2nd round against Maurice. He won the 1st round, I think, pretty easy. You started out slow, but you started to get more into the fight in the 2nd round. I still think he won that round too. But in the 3rd round, the momentum started to change, and you could see that you started to get some timing down, and you just made it a better fight, and I think you won the third round. Did you feel like the momentum was switching in that third round?
Yeah, I did. I think I felt like I found a way to get in, and I thought the fight was switching to my advantage.
Yeah.
And I just started feeding off of that.
Yeah, and he kind of took. It was a closer round in the fourth round. He kind of came back. He didn't want to give the momentum to you. In the fifth round, you started connecting with some really big shots. Did you feel like you started to hurt him at all at any point?
I did. I felt that he was the power punches were taking a toll on him. He was getting tired, breathing hard.
Mm-hmm. And were you surprised how good you started to feel after that fourth round? Because you did kind of wonder if you were ready to take the next step from 4 rounds, but not to 6, but to 8 rounds. Did you feel like you were strong, or did you feel tired at all?
Yeah, I was tired. I'm not gonna lie, but I wasn't. I still had a lot of I don't know, man. It's just different when you're inside of the ring. You don't really know how you take. It just comes out from deep, man, from deep inside.
Yeah, and you did land a lot of big shots, but he also did. Were you surprised by his power at all?
No, not really. No, but he did give me with some clean shots.
Mm-hmm.
He was fast, man. He used to he knows how to use his reach a lot.
Yeah, and it was scheduled for 8 rounds. Neither one of you guys ever went 8 rounds. He did go 6 rounds 2 times though, so he had more experience in the pros going longer distances. But it seemed like the longer the distance went, it favored you. It seemed he seemed to be getting tired. Did you feel like you were starting to win towards the end of the fight, were taking over kind of?
Yeah. He was. If I was tired, I think he was way more tired than me. And I just like to keep coming. Fight to the end of the fight.
Yeah, and what did you think? You guys kept fighting after the 6th round. The bell rang, but it was a hard to hear bell. How hard was it to hear the bell? Because on TV we heard it, but it sounded like it was a lower bell, but we could hear it. How did it hear? How did you hear it?
I didn't hear it at all. I just heard the ref, said break, and then he signaled, to keep fighting. He went, he just signaled to fight.
Mm-hmm.
So I just went after him, and even the referee, came in and he apologized. He said that he didn't hear it either.
Yeah, and I think it was.
But,
I think it was one of the commentators. I think it was Barry Tompkins. He said that there was no inswell in the corner. You did have a swollen eye. What happened with the inswell in the corner?
We were working with a newcomer in our corner, and he said, that he liked the thing he took. He said he liked it better than the inswell. He's an experienced cut man, and we trusted him with that.
Mm-hmm. So is he going to have a place on your team still? Are you in an elevator? What is that noise? Oh, okay.
We're in the car.
I thought I was on hold. But
Yeah.
You did come on towards the end of that round, and I thought you eked out the 7th round or the 6th round. There was close rounds, but by the end of the fight, it seemed like the momentum was totally going towards you. He seemed totally spent. I appreciate you being so honest, saying that you were tired too, but from the looks of it, I could tell he was tired. I couldn't tell you were tired. So you did a good job at hiding that. When the decision was announced, were you surprised that it was a draw? Did you feel you won it, or did you not know?
No, I felt I won it. I felt I did enough at the end. But I also knew that it was a close fight. Any round would have gone. There was a couple of rounds that could have gone either way. So, it was a good fight. I was just happy with that. We gave everybody a good fight. the people liked it, and that was more rewarding to me.
Yeah. And did you guys say anything after the fight? Well, I talked to him, and he said that he asked you for an immediate rematch. It might not make sense. Maybe it's best if you guys went on and had more experiences. And it looks to me like both of you could have a chance to win a championship someday. So why not wait till you get more money for it, is one way of thinking. How did you answer him when he said he wanted a rematch?
I told him, immediately, and I told him, but this time give me some time to train. That's what I told him. So, but for me, I would take a rematch, with no problem, but like you said, if it makes more sense, to later on meet up, that's also fine, but I would love a rematch.
He said his plans were to try to move down to 135, so maybe it's a ways away. What is your next plans, where you are now?
We're waiting to see when our next fight is, keep fighting, and hopefully we'll have a busy year this 2014.
So nothing set yet? Did you sit down with anyone and discuss anything yet?
No, not yet. We're talking to some promoters right now, looking for a deal, and we're just waiting, to see what's going to be our next move.
Yeah, and what is the time frame? How many fights do you want to have this year?
I would at least 5, at least 5 fights this year. That's what we're aiming for.
Mm-hmm. And who is your favorite fighters in the world? Give me your top 5 pound for pound fighters right now.
Right now, that are fighting right now?
Yeah.
Or
right now, not all time. Right now.
Well, you have to go with. Well, I have to go with Floyd Mayweather. He's a pound for pound king right now. I like Manny Pacquiao. He's always an exciting fighter, always giving the people crowd pleasing fights. Mm-hmm. And let me see who else. I like Triple G as well. I think he's the next pound for pound king.
A killer. He's a killer.
And those are probably the best ones right now. Can't really think about any other one.
I didn't hear anybody in the 140-pound division. What do you think about the 140-pound division? Are you going to stay there too? Because Maurice Hooker told me that he was going to move down. Are you happy at 140?
Yeah, I think 140 is a good weight for me. I don't think I could make 135 at all. But 140 is a good weight division for me.
Yeah. What do you think of Danny Garcia?
He's a good fighter, man. He has a lot of power. He showed a lot of boxing skills the last fight with Matisse. Yeah. And he's a good fighter, man. He's a world champ for a reason.
Yeah. And what do you think of all the? Is he the best in the division? Danny Garcia.
I think so, man. I think so.
Yeah. And how about all time? I'm sure your favorite fighter, you're from Sinaloa. Chavez, I'm sure, is your favorite fighter of all time.
Yeah. Chavez Sr. No favorite fighter.
Who else you look to?
No, I was a great fan of Oscar De La Hoya. I used to love him as well. Mexican American, and he was a very crowd pleasing fighter as well.
Yeah. I asked Maurice the same question, and you both named De La Hoya, so you got that in common. Both fans of De La Hoya. And
yeah.
Where do you see yourself in, let's say, at the end of this year? Where do you want to be? You want to be fighting 10 rounders? Do you want to be fighting the top 10, top 20 opponent? Who do you want your opponents to be by the end of the year? And where do you see yourself? Like, what kind of people do you want to be in the ring with?
Yeah, hopefully, those are the plans. I was talking to my team, and they want to take things a little slower now. take get my record up, probably to like 15-0, and start moving up on the rankings.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure.
And see where it goes from there.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're in a different place since Friday night? Do you feel like more people are trying to get a hold of you and stuff? Different.
Yeah.
Different.
A lot more people, coming up to me and just congratulating me, on a great fight and really admiring what we did.
How'd you feel about it? Did you feel disappointed because it wasn't a win?
At first I did, I want to win. Everybody wants to win, and but talking to people, talking to everyone, telling me, it was a great fight, and being on a short notice and all that stuff, they just started.
Yeah.
It was just nothing we could have done, man.
Totally impressive performance. You look like a seasoned veteran. You got a lot of new fans, and I'm sure you're going to keep on getting new fans. How do your fans get a hold of you and shout out to you? Are you on Twitter? Are you on Facebook? Tell them how to get at you.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, and you can add me at Abel Ramos. I'm on Facebook, and you can follow me on Instagram as well at Abel Ramos Boxing.
Abel Ramos Boxing on
Yeah.
Instagram. Follow him. Get on the bandwagon before it's too late and you start getting criticized for jumping on too late. I think we're going to be hearing a lot from Abel Ramos. Abel, I appreciate your time. Can't wait to see you in the ring again. Thanks a lot, my man.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.